And welcome back, everybody. It is time for game number 3 here in the second semifinal between TechnicS and trutaCz. trutaCz is up 2-0 after some dominating performances in the last 2 games.
Yeah, game 1 it was the micro. Game 2 it was the strategy. Worked out flawlessly for him, and yeah, TechnicS, he needs to recapture his form of old. He just hasn't looked like the TechnicS that we know and love in these last 2 games. He's really demonstrated some flawless play in the past, and this just isn't quite there. You can see how he could get this far in the tournament with this kind of play, because he's not doing badly. He's playing very solidly, but trutaCz is just coming out way ahead because of all the small details that trutaCz is getting right.
See, you say that, Elegant, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to make you sad now. But with TechnicS in this form, there's no way Busy would have lost against him. So this would have been Busy versus trutaCz. But oh well.
Imagine that. Imagine that, Zach.
And it would have been even more interesting then, because trutaCz couldn't only focus on ZVZ then. He would have to, actually practice EVT as well, which probably would have been even harder given the lack of top-level Terrence.
In that scenario, Busy would be the more likely to be able to take a game off Zeke in the final, because of him practicing versus Zerg only.
Yep.
And that makes me so sad, because imagine how good that series would have been with both these players in the form they're in. Busy versus trutaCz. That's
Although,
crazy.
Given how trutaCz ZVZ is looking, I'm still looking forward to this though, trutaCz versus
Oh
Zeke.
yeah, I can't remember the last time I was looking forward to ZVZ series so much. Actually, it's quite a milestone for me. But I'm not turning over to the dark side like you, so you've gone all the way.
I have. I've seen the light, the goopy
Yeah.
Zergy light.
You can see it from down that Zerg hole you now live in, can you? There's a thing.
All right. Anyway,
All right,
game
enough
number
to race
3
hate.
on Andromeda. Let's go.
Yeah, that's it.
And here we go into game number 3. At the bottom left as the purple Zerg, we have trutaCz. And at the top right as the white Zerg, we have TechnicS.
Yep. I shouldn't look at the stream chat. It makes me think, It makes me think various things in between games. Stewardesses is the longest word you can type with left hand only, apparently. According to...
What the hell? I was wondering why you typed that. I was looking at what other people saying in the chat. I was like, how does that relate at all to anything?
I had to check it. I had to check. So I looked at it and thought, really? All with one hand? Stewardess is. Look at that. Very nice. It's dangerous looking at the stream chat, because either someone hates you or someone's saying some weird crap, or it just makes me laugh about something unrelated. It's bad times. Straight away we have both these guys. I'm going to be scouting towards the bottom right hand corner. No scouting imbalance right here. We are of course in cross map positions. It's Andromeda, so not too much of a big deal, but it's a big map. So this could give a little bit of leeway for any slightly disadvantageous timings. And of course it makes kind of big link strategies a little less likely, although the chances for sneak arounds are quite a lot bigger when you're in cross positions on a big map like this.
Absolutely, absolutely. But you know what? I hope it's another situation like game number 1, where we're gonna have some turtling up, expand a little bit. trutaCz doesn't immediately kill him because they are cross positions, and we can get a long game. Let's see a long ZVZ here. I want to see what trutaCz's kind of like late game ZVZ style is, kind of just to see what we might see against Siki. Because the games won't necessarily all be fast and furious. And we have an in-base 12 hatch here from TechnicS. One of those builds that, again, foreigner players do, Korean players don't. It's questionable.
And there's a reason for it. But TechnicS really seems to be favoring these defensive builds so far in this series, but it just hasn't paid off for him so far.
Yeah, and he's facing a 9 pool, so that's bad.
and he's facing a 9 pool as well, so that's that's not amazing. Because of course you can hold out if you make an early hatchery at the natural expansion position, even against a 9 pool. You can do it if the micro is good, but this just smells a little.
Well, if it's at the natural, it's very, very difficult. There have been a few notable games in Pro League where it's happened. It's been amazing every time. It's usually a guaranteed win for the 9 pool. In base 12 hatch, I'm not so sure, especially cross positions. I'm not actually going to write TechnicS off just yet, even though normally this would be, you know, quote-unquote a build order win for trutaCz. I'm not actually convinced at this point. These lings are barely halfway across the map. The pool is just about to finish for TechnicS, and this hatchery is also almost finished as well, which means he's going to have a whole bunch of extra larvae with which to make lings. As long as he just doesn't lose any drones, just does some good drone drilling and pulling, I think TechnicS will be okay here. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he should be fine. He should be fine. He just needs to try not to lose too many drones in the meantime. His lings are about to pop now. Here he goes. He's going to drill his drones. Oh, they drill disadvantageously. They go behind the minerals. Oh, he's actually drilling all of them. And that's not advantageous. And so his drone's going to get a little bit stacked up. And he's going to lose quite a lot of mining efficiency right there. He's not respreading them again either. Quite a few stacked drones in the middle of his mineral patches there. That's not great. So he's basically a drone down mining at this point. Now he gets them resplit back up. That took a while. And the ling's coming back in. Is that a disadvantageous position for TechnicS?
No, he doesn't have speed. He shouldn't do this. He does not have speed yet, but he does have the shorter reinforcement route. But he's got to be so careful. He does not have speed for a little while yet. trutaCz does have speed. He needs to just play defensively, play position A. But look at trutaCz getting those nice positions.
Yeah, trutaCz playing that very slick. Manages to trade a few more Zerglings there fairly advantageously, and he's going to go in again. He has the ling advantage, he has the speed advantage, he gets a slightly disadvantageous position right there though, but TechnicS is pushed back, and trutaCz goes after the drones. Will he get stuck in an awkward position? Almost does, but decides to pull back, and now finally speed is done for TechnicS. He's going to be able to defend a little bit more solidly. Didn't lose any drones there, so not too bad overall.
But look at this, the Spire is about a third of the way done, and the lair's not quite finished yet for TechnicS, so he's gonna have to spore up here most likely, although maybe not actually. I'm not 100% sure if he starts to Spire straight away and buys some time with his Zerglings. Remember, he's pumping Zerglings off 2 hatches against the 1 hatch of trutaCz, so trutaCz now has to play defensively. I wonder if he even needs a sunken colony, because he doesn't have enough links to hold the top of the ramp, I don't think. Yeah, he's immediately placing a creep colony. He realizes he's in danger. The ramp on Andromeda is a little bit wide, so it's not as easy to defend as like Fighting Spirit. And here we go. Yep. TechnicS is going for the break. Is he going for the break? It looks like he's thinking about it. He wants to. Doesn't quite have enough number superiority, but no, it looks like he decided he does, and he's going for it. Is he going for it? Oh, there's a bit of a gap. He can run up. He's going for it. He's going to take the ling engagement at the top of the ramp, but the sunken is about to finish here, so I think trutaCz will be able to hold. Just has to be careful not to get too many drones sniped. Looks like TechnicS not going to go in just yet.
Yeah, he maybe could go in on the drone line, but that Spire's in a nice position. The Spire's, of course, blocked with basically everything, so there is no way to run through between the gas and the sunken colony right there. That Spire is a nice block, but that could be a little bit disadvantageous actually in the defense for trutaCz. So I don't know if TechnicS will be able to make use of that, but TechnicS deciding it's not too worthwhile for him to hang around.
TechnicS again gonna get a surround here at the top of the ramp. trutaCz forced to pull back here. TechnicS doing really nice aggression with the Zerglings, really showcasing that extra 2 hatch production. Here he goes, he's going in, but no, can't quite touch the sunken colony. Good Sim City here by trutaCz to help protect this, and looks like the first mutas are out, but it doesn't matter. The Spire for TechnicS has finished as well. He's getting his initial mutas. He has spent a good amount of money on lings though, so he can't quite afford to use all his larvae. But here we go though. A lot of lings are moving in here. The sunken again is in such a good position, and the mutas are overhead. It doesn't look like the best attack from TechnicS. Oh my goodness, he does not get the sunken. I don't think he even killed a drone here. Not a good attack at all.
Drone. Oh god, that was horrible. I don't even know quite how that happened. There was just the sound of lings dying. Nothing went down apart from Zerglings right there for trutaCz.
There was actually a ling counter I think we missed. There was a dead drone in the mineral line of TechnicS.
Oh, dear me. TechnicS really not coming off very well in there. He might finally manage to catch a drone here. No, even still, he's lost all of his links. He's now going into his Scourge Muta production. He still has a supply lead, interestingly enough. So I guess it didn't work out too badly for him, because he does have the 2 hatch production at this point.
Yeah, definitely. But we do have 4 mutas from trutaCz heading across the map against 3 mutas and 6 Scourge. So I guess technically if he micros perfectly, he can maybe take it down. But the problem is, even if he micros perfectly against a Scourge, the mutas will be shooting him the whole time. So it's probably not going to work out. Meanwhile, 2 Scourge actually peeling off from the rest of the pack, going ahead of themselves, maybe going to try and catch some mutas as they spawn. Do some egg camping here. Meanwhile, it looks like Pen and Bright Guy is witnessing the mutas going across the map. The first Overlord is under attack. TechnicS doesn't seem to be moving out to defend it. I'm not sure why. Looks like, oh, he's just going to send a few Scourge, but I don't think you should send the Scourge without the mutas here. It seems a little bit dangerous.
Yeah, it's not going to be so good, but we could get a little bit of Scourge around right here. No, not quite going for it, but this could be an advantageous position for TechnicS. TrueTouch's micro has been so good today, and it's continuing in the same vein. He might just get caught up by the Scourge here, though, unless he's very careful. But great micro, once again, taking out so many of the Scourge. He manages to take care of almost all of them. Does eat a couple at the end, though, and he's going to be forced to pull back.
Oh, and the two Scourge that were egg camping are still chasing down two Mutas, but it looks like they might be able to rejoin with the rest of the pack. And yes. TrueTouch very smartly pulling them away. Let's see, 27 to 26 for TrueTouch. For TechnicS. Excuse me, I got the colors confused. 27 to 26 for TechnicS. 24 of 33 for TrueTouch.
Yeah, it's. I'm not going to say. I don't really know. I feel like TrueTouch, the more those engagements happen, the more he's going to be able to get on top of it. His micro versus Scourge is just so good, whereas TechnicS doesn't get the surrounds quite. He just doesn't seem quite so on it. He's not in a bad position at the moment, though, but that can very easily change. 34 supply right now for 26, so he is steadily drawing more and more head in terms of supply. So TrueTouch is going to have to keep trading well if he wants to stay on top of this.
Yeah.
And I expect to see... Well, actually, I was about to say I'd expect to see another hatchery for him at some point, but he's way low on the drone count. I don't know when he's going to find the money to do that. He's quite heavily
it's
stuck
6
with what
drones
he's got.
against 9 on minerals. It's like a 50% better economy for TechnicS, although he might lose this one drone. Oh, not quite missing the volley. Oh, he's going to go for it still. No, he's got to be careful. The Scourge coming in. Let's see the micro. Yep, good. Takes down one Scourge. But the thing is, remember, because he's got extra drones, it means the actual supply advantage isn't actually converted into the air advantage for him because, it's all in drones. Having said that, it looks like we're going to have a bit of an engagement here. Again, TechnicS the one making more Scourge. Oh, man, a lot of missed volleys here from TrueTouch. Trying to be a bit too fancy with his micro, perhaps, but he does pick off all the Scourge yet again.
Yeah, but he took 2 volleys right there for free, and they're big volleys.
Yeah.
Not only doing a lot of damage to a single Muta, but also splashing off quite a lot as well. So that's really significant. Here goes the engagement. TrueTouch is going to stand and fight. Maybe no, he's going to keep doing the micro, but I don't know if he's got the position to do this. TechnicS, though, looks like he's still inferior on the Muta count. It feels like this doesn't need to be happening, but it is. He still can't really stand his ground. He's going to give chase with one Scourge, but his Scourge control has not been exactly ideal in this game. He hasn't got the surrounds off like he probably want to. He is making a natural expansion, but he's on a bit of a tightrope right now. TrueTouch just keeps getting those nice engagements on him, and TechnicS just isn't, his supply isn't exactly running away in the way he'd want it to.
The problem here, Elegant, is that, yes, TrueTouch's micro is better, but is it better by 3 drones? And I don't think it is. I mean, look at it, 26 supply against 37. TechnicS a massive supply lead. He's getting his natural hatchery now. TrueTouch is as well, but the micro was good. It just wasn't quite good enough to overcome the economic deficit he was in. Even though TechnicS threw away all those things, even though his micro hasn't been quite as good as TrueTouch is, he's still got just such an economic lead that it doesn't really matter anyway. Looks like a few random lings can go suicide themselves, but TrueTouch is still in a bit of a precarious position.
Yeah, really still no foregone conclusion at the moment. He's hanging on by virtue of his superior micro, not by virtue of being in a superior position at all.
Yeah.
Fortunately, he was able to delay the natural expansion for TechnicS for quite some time, so that's only just popping out now. That would have been a lot earlier if TechnicS' plan had gone according to how he wanted it to, so TrueTouch managing to make up a little bit more ground there. He needs to find some space, possibly to get a couple more drones out, I want to say. I think it feels kind of important that he gets...
The thing is,
a few more.
Because he's only on one hatchery, he wasn't even able to make the drones if he wanted to. He had to keep making Mutas and Scourge to keep up in the air, and thus, even if he had a couple extra minerals, he just didn't have the larva to make the extra drones. So there was it was a physical impossibility for him to actually catch up on the economy anyway. So his micro was just keeping him from actually losing the game. Against any kind of lesser Zerg, I think they would have already lost in this position, but TrueTouch is somehow still hanging on.
I think so. And remember that statement. If he goes through to the final, and as we go in against Zeke, remember that you said that. Remember that you noticed that precarious position, and that if TechnicS had been more on the ball, he might have been able to take advantage of it. TechnicS does now have his natural expansion up and running very solidly. He's got the gas line, and he's going for it. Very big attack. TrueTouch.
Pandaberg guy blocks a ling.
Oh, Panda Bear guy,
nice.
He's on TrueTouch's side. Okay, it's all good, folks. It's all good. Don't you worry about a thing. But here come the Mutas. TrueTouch is going to micro his heart out if he's going to be able to do anything against this. He just looks like he's going to stand his ground instead. Don't know if he cloned his Scourge well enough exactly right there. Losing a couple of drones straight away in his Atlas. The Lings run in, and they might be able to get the hat-trick. trutaCz is going to have to micro like crazy if he's going to hold on to that. The Lings are going to be left with their own devices as TechnicS gets distracted on an Overlord, but that is such a massive supply difference right now. TechnicS has nearly twice the supply of trutaCz, but somehow trutaCz is still scaring away the Museless. I'm not quite sure how this is happening, but more Scourge coming in right now for both players. Who's going to clone better? Oh, all the Scourge landing for trutaCz on one Museless. I don't know if that's advantageous, and he's continuing to lose more of his Museless. I think his numbers have fallen too low right now. TechnicS is definitely going to be able to take this game at this point. He's got a massive Museless. Yeah, we've only got 2 Museless left for trutaCz, and that's pretty dire. Yeah, it's all done. TechnicS will take the game. It was pretty hard fought, despite the fact it looked like it might not be.
GG! TechnicS not going down without a fight, avoiding the 3-0, and has taken game number 3. He's got some bite in him after all.
He definitely has. That game was an interesting one because, like you mentioned, it looked like trutaCz was quite a long way behind, basically the whole game.
Yeah.
But he managed to cling on to it. But that's all he was ever really doing. He was never looking seriously aggressive, and he was never looking seriously like TechnicS was actually going to lose a critical battle at any point.
By the way, the opening was 9-pool versus 12-hatch, and the 9-pool lost. Ha! Take that, you build order peoples.
There you go. You heard it here, guys. 60% only.
Indeed, indeed. Although I think 9-pool, 12-hatch is more. But shh. Don't worry about it.
Shoot.
So, going on to game number 4, it will be on Polaris Rhapsody, a 2-player map again. And, well, we'll come back after the break for that game.
Don't go anywhere.